Hey here. Okay, everybody, we're at the Planet Pool Tour in Frederick, Maryland at Champions Billiards. I'm Alvin with Inside Pool. We're going to do a match with Ryan McCreesh and Mike Davis, joined with J.R. Calvert and Alan Duty in the booth here. How are you guys?
About ready to get started here?
Ready to go. Should be ready to go here.
Ready to go.
This is it. Coin is flipped.
This match is a true treat. These are two of the best players in the tournament, I believe. You got Mike Davis coming all the way up from Florida. You got Ryan McCreesh, probably the best local player in Maryland and Virginia.
Well, Ryan's definitely taken a little bit of time. I mean, he was all over probably 3-4 years ago. He was playing quite a bit. Now, I haven't seen too much of him in the tournament play in the last couple of years. Though he's still a strong player, that doesn't mean that he's not stroking the ball well. So I think as far as tournament toughness, I think give the edge to Mike Davis. Right?
Oh, absolutely. He does. There's still a lot of local tournaments around, and he pretty much, if he enters them, he's a favorite to win almost every one of them.
Nice solid break. It's coming up dry though.
Yeah, it'll take him a few games to adjust that rack the way he wants it.
The rack really didn't look like it had a lot of activity on it from the speed of the break that he had. I think he's going to need to really make sure he racks the balls a little bit better in the future.
He'll make an adjustment. You know, a lot of the idea of making the wing ball or the head ball is how you rack them.
Sure. Well, Mike's really looking for a way to get down behind that 9-3-4. I mean, that's his goal. If he can get down here, the upper left-hand corner of your screen with the cue ball. Thing is, he's getting too dangerously close to making the one.
That's just a little open jitters. Well, he might, he played that ball. He played safe on that.
Yeah.
First, I thought he tried to make the ball.
Well, I think that's why he was taking his time. He wanted to make sure that he wasn't making the ball when he was playing safe, because that's, the one and the two are virtually in the same place now.
See, the difference between when the normal people play safe versus these guys is they'll actually pin that ball up right against the ball, so you can't even jump it. In this case, he does have a window. I suspect he'll make a good hit on this.
Yeah.
And you got a little reward.
Yeah. I mean, as far as things go, I'm sure that there's, some opportunity to possibly jump this ball and just cinch the cue ball and run around. Or, get the two and then run down for a 3-4 combo or any combination like that to clear these first 4 balls. And I think that's, from what he's doing right now, I think that's what he's going to try.
Mike Davis is relatively tall, so these jump shots don't affect him a whole lot. I think he'll get down on this ball. The problem is you have to get up and down on the ball, and there's a tendency for the one ball to rattle a little bit if it's not hit dead center.
Yeah, he's more than likely gonna top hit the one ball when he lands. It's gonna present a problem of losing the cue ball and bouncing the one ball into the hole. The side pockets don't like that as much.
Wow.
Did it pretty good. Stroked it right back into a draw or into a safety though.
The reason that ball drew back is he wanted to make sure he didn't hit it off the table. So he hit a little bit down on the ball.
Yeah, he gets in behind it so that he can get a higher arc and get down faster, as opposed to line driving the ball. He wanted to hit a pop fly, so to speak. And the result is, of course, you're either going to hit on top of the ball and you want that draw to kill the cue ball immediately.
So on this one, does he kick 3 rails, or do we go straight kick into
Well, he's
it?
supposed to kick 3 rails, but it's a real tight 3-railer because the 7 ball is in the way on the way in for that.
He's
And
got to put a little bit of draw on the shot to lengthen the kick. Well, he went 2 rails there.
yeah, it's a good shot. And the reason there that you'd go 3 rails is there's obviously 7 balls on one side of the table and only 1 on the other. So he's trying to move both balls on the side of the table where all the traffic's at. Hitting at 1 rail didn't guarantee that either anything like that was going to happen.
Now, does he have enough of this ball to make it?
Yeah, I don't know. I think our producer is going to give us a little insight here. It looks like he does have. It's going to be a close hit. Tournament director Jose Burgos has given us
Oh, yeah.
good hit, bad shot.
It's a little open jitters there, I believe, more than
Alan, what's your feeling on the first game of a set? Does it really mean anything?
First game's the most important game. I
Sure
think
is.
the percentage of wins you have if you win the first game goes up to about 65% of all matches if you can win the first game, believe it or not.
It's that is the truth. You set the tone for the whole match. Sometimes you can put the win or the loss in your opponent's mind by how you shoot the first rack.
Against these guys, you don't want to lose any rack, more or less the first one.
You know, unfortunately, you're going to lose them. It's just the nature of the business.
The problem with these guys is 1 rack can easily turn into 2 or 3 or 4 racks. And before you know it, you're down 4-0. Look how much time he's taking on this.
Well, he was given a pretty healthy stroke. He didn't want to, drift over there and hope that he wasn't behind his 6 because he got a little bit heavy or a little bit light on the stroke.
If you look at Mike Davis when he strokes the ball, it's his back end of his cue is really high, and he uses that open bridge quite a bit. It's definitely not the. If you were going to teach somebody how to play pool, you probably wouldn't teach them to stroke like Mike Davis.
Well, yeah, it looks like he's sawing wood, and I've had so many people say, well, look at that stroke, that can't be Mike Davis. Oh yeah, it is, and it isn't so much what that stick does there; it's the one that goes through.
He hits the ball the same way every single time. You look at a guy like Keith McCreesh, you look at his stroke, it's not conventional, but he hits the ball the same way every single time, and that's the key.
Thing about Mike's been working out quite a bit. He's probably lost 30-40 pounds of unnecessary weight and put on about 15 pounds of muscle. He's looking pretty buff anymore, and that really helps with pool. People don't realize how essential it is that they be strong.
People like Meek Emin, and they work out every day. All the top players like that, they work out every day.
Yeah, well,
I think it's more of a mental thing too. If you work out every day, I think your mental game gets better.
well, it's a nice way to work some of your thoughts out in your mind is while you're lifting or going through your workout routine, you can talk to yourself and work things out where if all you do is run, it's hard for you to work some of the issues out in your life, your game, whatever area that you're trying to hone. And I have to admit, some of the best pool I ever played was when I was sponsored by a fitness club. I used to work out about 5-6 times a week, and it treated me very well, very well. So, yeah.
I was just looking at where Mike Davis is putting the 2 ball. Notice that it's at the back of the rack. Most players put it up at the front. So chances are he's going to try to get his cue ball to come to the back head of the table after he's done. He's been breaking from towards the center right there, not from the. He's switching back.
We've been seeing guys go all over the place with their rack, but I'd say 60% of them are breaking from the other side on this table this time.
Man, look at that wing ball straight in the hole.
You know,
Yeah.
he knew what he was doing there. He hit it a little bit off center, let the cue ball float to the side rail, and
He wasn't trying to make the one ball in the side.
he wants the one ball to go down table and set up in one of the corners. You know, a lot of these players that are in this tournament at this time, if you give them a shot on the one in the corner pocket with pretty much an open table, they're going to get out 90%, 80% of the time in competition. Now, in practice, they might get out in the 90s.
At this level, these guys practice their break shot just like any other shot. Probably more than any other shot. Because in high competition 9-ball, the break shot is everything.
Well, he's got a little bit of an issue here with the 3. I can't really tell how much of a little wedge of position that he has to get into here, but he's looking at it right now. There's a smaller wedge down on that bottom than what he would like. And I imagine he's just going to try and get the cue ball down around that first name plate, that ball counter, if he can, and lay it on the rail.
Oh, what is that?
Lost his head. I think he was actually going to try and break those up. That's how bad that was.
If you can avoid going into other balls, it's always the best thing. This is a crucial rack for Ryan. He doesn't want to be down 2-0. Getting from the 8 to the 9 is no easy trick here.
Well, with the 7 where it is, I'm sure that he'll get 2/3 of the way across the table and just zigzag for the 9. But
what do you think happened there?
well, I think that he just tensed up trying to draw the ball and got underneath the ball. A lot of guys do that in the beginning of a set or at a crucial shot. They tense. Their chest muscles will tense. People do it while they break, and they end up topping the cue ball while they break. And it's because their natural tendency is to clinch everything and try and get fast. And it's the wrong thing to do. You tense your body, and that causes a lot of miscues and bad breaks.
Let's see if it looks like he's going to fire this in the hole.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for it.
The cue ball's going to go a lot of distance. I don't know what he was doing there. I think he was playing safe.
I don't think he knew what he was doing. He's willing to take whatever came out of there, and that's a bad shot.
Distance is your friend.
You have to make up your mind.
Distance is your friend, and that's what he did. He left a lot of distance here.
Well, if he was going to make the shot, he had to hit it with a little bit more pace. Keep its line and let the cue ball run 4 rails and come back to the 6. If he's going to play safe, hit it a lot softer than that and thinner. So, he's 50-yard line there.
Man, there's a lot of tension in this match so far. That wasn't an easy shot, though, by any means.
No, nobody's selling out just yet. I mean, now if Mike can get out and put this one in the hole and bear down and just cinch this ball, I think he can win this game because the balls are setting right for him to just make a cinch shot to get started.
Getting on that 9's a little bit easier now that the 9's moved over.
Yeah, you don't have to go backwards with the 8 ball on the rail.
That shot was pretty strong right there.
He has an accurate delivery. I really like Mike's demeanor. He's a good guy, too, He's one of these guys that you think you're lucky stars that he's such a nice guy, because you wouldn't want Mike to be an angry guy.
I've seen him when he was angry. I saw him in North Carolina when he got mad at Earl Strickland.
So did Earl run for the door?
No, he told Earl was complaining, and he came over to Earl, stood right up into his face, and told Earl to sit down and take his beating like a man. And I was in North Carolina. I saw it myself. And you know what Earl Strickland did?
No,
He sat right down. Didn't say another word.
Well, like I said, there's not too many things that I'd want to do to really make Mike angry. And if he told me to shut up and sit down, I think I'd shut up and sit down.
What do you think Mike does here?
Well, Mike's going to hit this one ball thin and take it down to the bottom rail and run the cue ball behind the 9. It wasn't there as much as you wanted it to be. It wasn't a perfect lay, but he got away with it. He pulled off what he wanted to do.
He tried to send the 2 rails to the center nameplate.
Yeah.
But Ryan's pretty good at these shots.
Well, that's a really thin hit, that 2 rail down to the nameplate. People don't realize how thin that is. That's like probably close to an eighth of a ball hit. Cue ball will run on you. He did really well with it.
You're going to see the cue ball probably travel 15 feet. It's 20 feet on this.
Well, he's going to try and cinch it in.
Oh, my. I'm not sure what happened there.
He missed.
It looked like he didn't get down on the ball. You don't expect that from him, to miss that shot.
Sometimes you just miss, and you anticipate things. And whenever you start to have the difference of a 64th of an inch on whether a cue ball's or a shot's going to be successful, you're allowed to miss. And that's something that a lot of guys forget, is that you have to be very accurate with your delivery. He's going to get lucky and get this in.
It's headed. Oh my! That is a roll.
We'll put that on the highlight loop at the end of the game. That'll be the Alvin Nelson shot of the game.
When you have 2 expert players like this playing, these rolls can really make a difference.
I think Mike Davis is going to be the proud owner of an Alvin Nelson limited edition bobblehead doll for that shot.
First match.
I mean, if he makes another one, doesn't he get you to sign it right across the forehead?
First match.
I'm looking at Ryan here. He seems to be pretty cool even after that roll there. Because normally he gets fired up pretty easily.
Now, let's address something that I've been hearing rumors about. Is the table is a little moody. It's people aren't sure what's going on with the table, and
it's very slow.
Well, I've heard that it has some funny twist in it here and there, and nobody can figure it out. And I don't know whether that's
Kevin Bailey figured it out on the last match. I'm telling you.
Oh, I don't know whether Ryan's trying to figure out the table or whether he's accepting the table. 'Cause there's a lot of rumor about it.
Let's see this.
It's got in everybody's mind is what I'm getting at.
Wow, there it is.
Now that was a great break.
Yep.
See how he took his tip down, kept the cue on the table, and transferred 100% of that energy to the rack. Well, about 90%. He did have some spare energy left on the cue ball, or it wouldn't be down the corner pocket. But you could feel that break when he hit it.
Yeah, thanks. All right, thank you.
Maybe we'll start gunning Mike to see what he's breaking here in the future. And that's assuming that he is the guy that's going to be breaking.
Is he going to try to make this ball?
It does look like he's trying to play safe. If I was a betting man here.
That ball went right in the hole.
Went right in the hole. He stroked it like it had nothing, no problem
That's
whatsoever.
a high pressure shot there.
Well, what Ryan's probably thinking right now is, how do I get a point? and then do it 8 more times.
You know what's amazing is you look at these guys when they're losing a match and they're sitting in their chair. These really good players, you can look at them and you can't tell who's winning the match for the most part. They seem calm whether they're behind 6-2 or ahead 6-2.
Let's see how he hits this combo. I think Mike's starting to relax. I'm going to try and put a gun on him this time. See what we got. Now I think he's going to break from the same place. Pretty obvious.
Look how carefully he is racking these balls.
Now he's looking at those first 3 balls like they are everything, and I don't blame him. They really are. Now you notice that he doesn't have the 2 in the back of the rack this time.
I'm not sure why that is. Let's see what speed he's breaking at. .20 miles per hour. So he's hitting him pretty sporty. Still a little bit slower than what he normally breaks at. And he made a ball. Yeah, I was going to say that shot there was tough. Ryan seems a little bit perturbed at that roll there.
When the other guy's getting all the points and you're getting all the bad shots, it starts to get a little bit weary, but usually it takes you a little bit further in the set to get that, why me type of feeling. Sometimes the balls just roll that way for people, 2 seasons, 3 seasons in a row. And we've certainly had our share of players in the past that have been the guys that have been the recipients of the good roll for seasons on end.
See, these guys are capable of putting multiple racks together. So if they're down 2-0, 3-0, it's not out of sight.
Right.
Unlike amateur players.
Routine. And, he wanted to stuff it so that he got rid of a lot of the kicking avenues, but let's see what we got here.
Wow, look at that
get a
shot.
good shot.
Look at that shot. And did he get rewarded?
Well, he can see this shot. I mean, his unfortunate reward is that on the other end of the table is a 9-foot combination, so to speak. So he's going to have to pull his cue ball back a little bit if he wants to have any, control on this combination. Plus, I think he might actually be on the wrong side of it if he doesn't bring it back.
He's definitely going to play the combo, it looks like.
Yeah. Well, he's 100 times better only coming back 3 feet like he did.
The problem here is getting a shot at the 3 ball after you make the combo.
Well, that's why I needed to be closer, because the matchups on the speeds are a little bit better.
He did that pretty well.
Well, you can't shoot that shot that speed from 8 feet away, on a table that's rumored to be a little bit rolly. At least you can. I mean, you just don't expect to have success in controlling the first ball. He's hitting the heart of the pocket now.
Tell you, when Ryan McCreesh gets in the groove, you could be sitting down for 2, 3, 4 racks very easily. I don't know why he doesn't play more major tournaments. He's definitely got the skills to do it.
Sure.
I think he likes to stay home with his family.
Nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's, what's the enticement for him to run out and play tournaments at this moment? I'm not seeing anybody blinged out here with a $250,000 watch or anything like that because they're on the Pro Tour. Basically, I think he's done a lot of it, and that's what I was kind of getting at earlier. Is we saw him all over 5 years ago, and the luster wore off. He realized that even if he was one of the top 10 players in the world, the paychecks really aren't that grand, and he values maybe hanging out with his family or being around his home more than chasing that, little bit of money that's out there at the moment. And I don't blame him. Probably a smart choice. But then again, I can't blame a guy like Mike who's continually on the tour and, trying to, be the best he can be day in, day out. Both are, you can agree with the logic.
Mike Davis, his dream was to play on the Moscone Cup, and he did it. I don't know whether you saw that match or not where he came back on Mika Eminence.
Yeah. The Moscone Cup. 15 years ago, who cared? Now it's every player's dream. It's probably, I can guarantee you it's the, dozen or so guys that are there. It's their dream, and I'd say about another 100 on each, continent.
A lot of pressure at the Moscone Cup, I tell you.
People have no idea what the pressure's like.
I'm surprised the races are so short.
Well, it is TV.
Now, Earl Strickland hasn't been back to the Moscone Cup, I guess, for 2 years, right?
I think it's 2 years. I think that's a mistake on their behalf.
He was the major draw.
He sure was. And, I think he's supposed to get a waiver on that till the day he stops shooting pool. Now, he took a little bit off of that. He short-stroked that break, and he opted for control, and he's going to get rewarded or not. Can you see that one? I think he got enough of it.
I don't think he made a ball.
Oh, yeah, I guess there's that part too. So, I guess
You got to make a ball first.
I thought the 7 went, and I just took my eyes off of it and started watching the 1. That is my bad.
This could be trouble.
Yeah, the 7's buried.
Well,
it looks like the rail. It's
yeah.
hard to see it there.
I think I would have had a little bit better chance pulling that off for the crowd had that been the 6 that done it, though. The 7 sticks out like a sore thumb.
See that? See the way he hit that ball? And it came up a little short? That's that TV table. It's that TV table roll. He can't even believe it himself.
Yeah. Well, as the day goes on, the lights will heat up that cloth a little bit more, and it'll have a little bit further travel to it than the other tables in this room.
There's a lot of bad things that can happen on this shot. And that's maybe one of them.
I think he got away with that. I think he's in a position where he might even be able to bank this 3 ball instead of just cutting it in the side too. I think he's got options.
You don't think he'll play safe here though, right?
It's not out of line. It really comes down to personal preference at this point. The better players, they don't want to let you back to the table even if it is to play safe. They only play safe if they really don't feel comfortable.
It looks like he's going...
Let's watch.
Wow.
That's a pretty good cut.
As advertised. Well, he's getting into the transition portion of this rack where he has to be pretty darn good on the 5 to find a pocket for this 6 that he knows that he's going to be able to hit.
That 7's right in the jaws of the pocket. I mean, it is deep in there.
Well, as long as he gets anywhere along the bottom rail, I don't think he has a problem getting position zigzagging his way down to the 8 if he lays a cue on the bottom rail.
The question is, does the 6 go in the corner here?
That's what he's looking at. That's the real problem that I was getting at. This is the interesting part right here.
Oh.
Can he get in behind it? That's the question.
Let's watch the juice on this ball.
He looks like he hit it a little bit heavy to me.
Well, he's got the 7 up there, if worst comes to worst.
Yeah, he's
But
fine.
he'll play the 6 in the side, I'm pretty sure here.
Oh yeah, the ball did slow down a little bit faster than what I thought, but I will say this: he's going to be able to lay the cue ball right on the top rail here, while the bottom of your screen. He should be able to lay it right on that rail for an easy position from the 7 to the 8.
Wow. Whoa,
Ruh-roh,
whoa, whoa, whoa,
Raggy.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, I think we're in the mood for a trick shot here. You know, I was wondering how he was going to opt to make this look harder than what it was.
Well, the tendency for those balls when you're shooting them in the side like that with a little bit of follow is for the ball to float, and that's what happened to him.
Well, he's got to hit this ball with some pace. He's got to catch
Notice he's
2
going
rails.
one or 2 rails versus a 3 rail shot, because if he makes it, he wants to get rewarded.
Well, let's see if he did it right.
Well, yes.
Hit it about as good as one could hit it.
This is still pretty tough.
Well, you know, the 9 being where it's at, I think he can sit down and cinch his ball, and I think he'll be fine. We have a women's tournament going on here. $1,000 added for the Planet Pool tournament here.
Oh, look at that! Look at that! Do you think he would play safe there?
Well, he was saying something, and I couldn't hear what he said, but
Shaking his head.
I think he alluded to the fact that his stroke was a little bit off on that one, because he didn't say something about the table. He actually was moving his arm, and I didn't hear what it was. Like
He
couldn't
missed
get
that ball by half a diamond. Ryan's just happy to get up to the table.
He's not happy.
That's a good shot there. Did we get a number on how many women entrants we had in the tournament?
There's quite a few here.
21 women entered.
21 women. Not bad for $1,000 added, for 500 guaranteed, I guess.
Very distracting too.
Well, I think that this is going to be one that Ryan can handle pretty
Yeah,
easily.
I think he's licking his chops here. Because he definitely didn't think he'd get a shot.
You know, these two guys play a lot better than this, but, you know, again, it's who settles in and is able to get control of their mental game first in these types of matches. And I know it sounds really backwards, but it's harder, and it sounds, I guess, obvious maybe, but backwards. It's harder to play better when you've been making a lot of mistakes than it is to play better when you've been playing perfect pool. You know, perfect pool, you can kind of ride the wave. You try and turn a set around that you've missed 4 or 5 balls in the first 4 or 5 games and play perfect pool after that, you need a seasoned pro. You really do need somebody that has a higher gear.
Well, both of these guys here have that higher gear.
So I think
Now, Ryan's
Ryan
going to break.
is-
He'll break a little bit.
he's controlling his break. I think he's going to be a little slower.
Got the TV balls out.
Where are we at?
23.71.
He got a little bit of a bad roll there. That roll there can be the difference between a matcher. He's going to kick this.
As advertised. What do you see here, Alan? 2 rails? 1 rail?
I'm just
Nick
taking
the
a look. He's going to have to go 2 rails because I don't think he can with that 6 down there.
He looks like he's
Can he
doing
hit
a
it?
long masse to me.
Can he hit it?
Oh, look at that.
Look at that shot.
It's about as good as they come.
Ryan's not going to be too happy about that.
He said, wow.
Now, he should consider a jump cue here because he's so close to all the rails that he's going off of, and that's going to bounce the cue ball. So he's saying, well, if I'm going to jump the cue ball, if I hit into a rail, why don't I just jump it to begin with and get a straighter line going?
The problem here is if he tries to make it in the side with the jump, that cue ball scratching is a definite possibility.
Well, I think he's supposed to shoot it up in the corner. First off, 2 balls are going to be able to kill him. He can draw the cue ball back down by the 9.
And he's got a helper
have a
6 ball
built-in
down there, too.
Possible safety.
He's got a helper 6 ball down there, too.
Exactly. Okay, well, he got the worst lick on that 6 possible. One that lets the 1 ball roll all the way down table again.
Yeah, at least he hit it.
Yeah, I'm sure
There's an old saying, you got to hit it to win it, you know? Don't be surprised if see what he's doing here. Well, he played a 2-way shot there, it looked like. That was a great shot.
They're pretty much taking their places here. This should be a routine out for him. The only ball that might even be a concern is the 4 ball next to the side.
See, this was a big game. This is the difference between 4-2 and 3-3. So did you play this weekend?
No, I don't play anymore.
You seem to know the game.
JR knows it, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
I have an idea how it's played. First you make the 4, then you make the 5, and then that's it. That's all I know.
What's the most racks of 9-ball you've strung together, JR?
In competition?
Just in general.
Well, in general, I put a 17 pack on a guy when we were playing on a tight 9-foot one time. In tournament, I've run 13. Hit a guy with a 13 and out from the break.
Wow.
Jerry Slivka played him one day.
Jerry Slivka has that monster break.
Yeah, he does. I was so scared to let him shoot, I had to run 13 and out.
JR knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know how to play anymore, but kind of have an idea how it's done. But I always played 8-ball, 9-ball straight pool. 1 pocket I'm okay at. Banks I'm pretty sufficient at. But
Most of your world-class 9-ball players are expert straight pool players, Mike Davis being one of them.
yeah,
I've watched Mike Davis and Sterling run 100 just in practice, just to hit them around a little bit.
yeah. We used to have a 4 1/4 inch pocket table that I used to practice on, and one of the things that I wanted to do before I left every day was run 100 balls, so that I could, keep my sharp, just if it was just ball making, because I might be practicing the weakest portion of my game, and my practices weren't rehearsals. It wasn't watching me run racks. It was watching me work on the worst possible thing that I had in my arsenal. And what I'd do with straight pool is I'd watch myself make 100 balls again, you know, and say, okay, so I might have learned how to make a particular bank shot better that day, or kick shot, and maybe shot it 50, 100 times in a row before I made it.
Well, I saw Ryan McCreesh run 242 balls at Big Daddy's in Glen Burnie.
Yep. So the nice thing about straight pull is you get to pocket a lot of balls, and it works more for concentration more than anything.
The stroke's a little bit different. That's the problem.
Yeah.
Did he come up dry there?
Yeah, I think he did. 26.55. Hitting him a little bit harder that time.
Believe it or not, it's pretty hard to hit a ball 26 miles an hour.
It really is.
Most amateur breaks are below 20. You might be able to hit it 26 miles an hour, but can you hit it in the right direction and at the right point?
Well, there's a lot of. I used to practice my break, and while I was telling you, I'd make sure I practiced the worst thing that I was doing. You know, most players confuse practice with rehearsal, and I was constantly learning the break and the techniques involved. And there's several main secrets that if you keep those in mind, you'll be able to control the break and keep a nice speed to your break. And it might not be the fastest break you can make, but it'll definitely keep you in line. And I see a lot of these players naturally doing some of these things. You know, every time you see somebody, pop his rock and kill it, it's so hard to see a guy, pull all the way back and hit it as hard as he can and kill the cue ball.
That's right.
And young players just haven't figured that out yet. Most of them. I can name his tune in one note.
I think we have the score wrong on the screen, though, don't we? I believe Mike has 4.
I do believe that is correct.
Play our commercial real quick.
Beat me 9-1. Which.
And we're back. For those of you that are just joining us, you're watching the Planet Pool Tour here at Champion Billiards in Frederick, Maryland. You're watching Ryan McCreesh break in a match against Mike Davis. In the booth here is Alan Duty, and I'm J.R. Calvert, Inside Pool Magazine. Notice how he really shortens up that final stroke on that break. And he keeps that control down on that break.
I really think he's afraid of scratching.
That's kind of you scratch a couple of hundred times when it's important, and you'll start to get really fearful of scratching on the break.
Scratching on the break in this tournament is instant death.
Yeah, you might have 80-20, the worst of it at that point in a regular tournament. This tournament, you might have 90-10.
This is a little bit tricky here if he's going to actually try to shoot this one in. This cue ball can glance off the 3 very easily.
I think he's going to hit it straight into the 3, run his cue ball, 3 rails down behind where his shoulder is right now, where the 7 is. All right, good shot.
How would you like to be shooting this one ball from down here?
Well, if I have this one ball, I'm shooting it right at the nameplate, and I'm going to bounce it up to the 3rd diamond.
You're playing safe here.
I'm rolling across it, and I'm going to put you underneath where the 5 deuce is and put you under on the nameplate. I would never try this shot.
It's very low percentage.
That's death. Death served up to you.
At least the books say if you're not 90% sure you're going to make a shot, maybe 95 at this level, don't shoot the shot. If he floats this down and gets position on the 2, this rack may be over. I don't know about that shot.
I think he's got a funky little leave here. Now this is one where I actually go rail first and nick the deuce and let the cue ball come up. And the only problem is the side pocket here. But you can get in between the side pocket and the 8 and get down by the 6. But you really just want to nick this deuce coming up.
Roll
off
it with
the rail.
a little bit of right English.
Yep.
You can't, don't touch it too much though.
See, I disagree with
well,
that shot. There was very little promise because he's leaving the cue on the rail and the 2's taking a ride.
And also the 2's going towards the 9. That's another thing we don't. You always want to keep distance between the next ball and the 9. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, he's probably going to put him off the side rail and underneath the 6 here with a little high left.
Oh, I think he's going to shoot it. No. I don't know about that shot.
Well, he wanted to hit more of it. He should have been banking that 2 ball back, like almost like he was making a bank towards this pocket with the 3. He'd have kept that 2 ball under control and put the cue. It would have had a faster pace to go off the rail and down to the 6. So he might have just missed that a little bit.
And now this monster stroke Mike Davis has. Does he go for the 2 right here?
Well,
and slam it off the rail.
I mean, you can. If you feel that you can cut that in, and because the 3 and the 4 are both hanging, and he can get in line by that time, he's on to the 5. So if he cinches it, I think he should be fine.
I thought he'd hit that a lot harder than that.
No, I would just keep my cue in the center. Now, Ryan's going to take a break, and I think that's a pretty good call. I think he's just trying to, let Mike look at that miss for a little bit. Say, here, look at what you just did. I'll be back to play my second portion of my set. And this is what we were talking about, is he needed something that would let him come in and change his set around.
You ever notice when you have 2 good players playing like this, they tend to miss against each other. They don't just run over each other usually.
I'm sure there's a certain amount of respect between these 2 players, from the same area, same era. They play pretty darn good, so yeah, I could, I think that's only natural. It's, very few people are built like Earl Strickland mentally, where they think that they're the favorite in every game that they play with every person.
Earl Strickland thinks he's a favorite with anybody in the world at any given time.
Oh, he might think he's the best player in tennis. Like he might, I've heard him call you out at tennis or golf right in the middle of a pool match.
And the thing about Earl Strickland, he really believes it.
Well, and that's what I'm getting at. That's the most important factor when it comes down to confidence when you want to pull that trigger. You believe it. And it's, and that's why I'm saying what Earl has is somewhat rare. Not too many players play the game with that in their mind.
Earl Strickland has the attitude, I'm better than you are, and if you beat me, I'm still better than you are.
Yep, I'm better than you, and when I win, I'll prove it, and when you win, it's just luck. Yeah. But, no, honestly, Earl mentally, has that game where he actually never has to worry about the doubt raising in his game. And I think a lot of players, they doubt because they can remember their wins or their losses against players. Earl doesn't remember a loss the same way you and I do. It's just like you said. He remembers when you got lucky and beat him.
Right.
And these guys, when they win, might say, well, I remember when you were playing better or you played a better set than I did.
Earl believes any time he's beat, it was because you got lucky.
Sure. A lot of people say that's probably darn near the perfect attitude to have. Just I think they disagree a little bit with his fired up engines. When it does happen, but still.
Sometimes people use that against him, though. They try to get under his skin a little bit.
Sure. I mean, who wouldn't?
You see that at the Moscone Cup when he was playing.
He's still the most exciting person to watch.
He still won. That's what I'm saying?
Well, somebody that I knew rolled Efren Reyes back-to-back tournaments in the first round. And the guy had a very unique logic that he said, if I was going to beat somebody, I would rather beat Efren Reyes than some guy that I play locally at my pool room every day. And I went, true. And he says, and if I was going to lose to somebody, I would much rather lose to Efren Reyes than somebody that I play every week at a turn. So therefore, if I'd rather win to the guy and lose the guy, I must want to play him more than anybody else. And I went, okay. He's all yours. We'll just give him
that's the good thing
round.
About these Planet Pool events. It gives the true amateur a chance to play some of these professional players. And, basically not spend a lot of money to do it.
Well, we've talked about a lot of this time in the sport where, when Barry Bonds was, clubbing 70-plus home runs, you're lucky if you could even see an interview with him, on television where it wasn't a press conference. You couldn't get one-on-one time with Barry Bonds when he was at the top of his game. There's no sport. The top sports athlete superstars are not accessible anymore, except for this sport. It's the only one where the players are as accessible as they are. And let alone, go ahead and try and, play around the golf with Tiger Woods, without, putting up a, large chunk of cash.
That's right.
You can go play Efren a $100 set. He'll play you. And I mean, it's not. He'll have fun with you. He'll play with you, But it's to that stage, where this sport you can get out and play the best players in the world on a weekly basis.
That's right. It's one of the only sports like that.
Yeah. Yeah, commercial. And we're back.
Ryan's taking a pretty long break. I think you're right. I think he's letting Mike stew on this a little bit.
Yeah. Well, there's a little gamesmanship going on. I like it. There's a little bit of flavor.
I don't think it'll affect Mike any, though.
Well, Mike's so even kilter. I mean, it takes quite a bit to affect Mike. You know. I don't know. He's just chatting with people over there. He's just relaxing.
Now, he came all the way up here from Florida. You know, the question is the money good enough to come all the way from Florida? You got to pretty much think you're the favorite to win if you're traveling that distance.
You better be snapping it off, because he's probably $400 in gas for a flight at some point here.
I think he flew up, he said.
Well, being that he's originally from Hagerstown, right, which is
Yeah,
100
Hagerstown.
miles down, he probably didn't have to really rent a room or anything like that up here. So I think he's, you know, it's not the worst set of expenses that I've ever heard, but still, he must think that he has a pretty good chance, and I agree.
Well, I just heard my match called, so I may have to let you have it here.
Yeah, I'm sure that Alvin and I can handle
I
it.
appreciate your knowledge of the game is pretty good.
Well, thank you. Likewise, it's nice to have somebody in the booth that can read the table and talk about it, keep everybody informed, let them appreciate how good some of the play is.
Well, hopefully after I play my match, I will be back on the TV table.
Definitely.
So
We
we'll
appreciate
see.
you having here.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks,
Thanks.
Alan. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, thanks. Likewise. We'll get you in there, like I said. Yeah, don't worry about winding that up. Yeah, there we go. And we're back. Ryan has come back from his break. I think he's looking to put a point on the board here and really capitalize. This is the perfect type of rack that I used to like. This is one that it's real easy to set the balls up like this when you come in the door fresh and run the first rack of the day because the balls are setting easy like this. And I think Ryan wants to do this. See the pace that he's got shooting? He's just trying to get loose mentally, physically. Now, he's trying to debate whether he wants to go 1 or 2 and what shape he's going to get on this particular ball. And it looks like he's contemplating a long shape now. He's got the 7 in the game, but I think he's going to get a good hit on it. Nice shot. Cinch this ball. He has a little tester here. This really isn't as hard as it looks. He should be able to slice this ball in and move the score forward. All right. Now I believe that is going to tie the setup at 4 games apiece. I'm going to mark it unless otherwise seen. We're going to have Alvin join me back in the booth here. Now I'm going to wait and see where he moves the coin to. But I think that's putting us back up at 4 apiece.
Yeehaw. JR.
Alvin's
Here
back.
we are. Okay, break speed time, peoples. Get going for shape on the 1. Does not get it. 9 ball. Look at that.
Ball.
23.49 miles per hour with the 9 ball snap. So
Yep.
rewind.
Did go in the lower 2 corner pockets, and he did confirm with us. So, yeah, 9 ball break.
9 ball.
9 ball break.
So we want to thank Inside Pool Magazine, InsidePoolMag.com. Go to our YouTube channel, Inside Pool Mag. 11 million views. 6,000 subscribers. Please subscribe. Poolplayerexcuses.com, ultimate10ball.com, thecutshot.com. And thanks for joining us, everybody, in the stream. I'll be paying attention to what's going on here. All right, I'm going to interact. Yes. Yes, yes. We're going to take care of you out there in the chat. And the repeat of 30 seconds ago. That beautiful TV set of balls there. Ooh, one went towards the bottom, 23.77.
He's hitting him with a little velocity, but he came up dry.
Yeah, I think he hit him a little, he hit him harder that time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he hit him a little too hard there. Too excited, I
I'm
believe.
going to go up and confirm our score here for a second, buddy. Hold on.
All right. Five to 4 in favor of. Good. Well, coming from behind, is he? Here at Champions Billiards. Been treating JR and I very well. Wouldn't you say, JR? Gary Allen's been taking good care of us.
Well, the fillet has been a little bit, you know, but it's the lobster that really.
Yep.
No, they've been rolling out the red carpet. Great staff.
Mike Siegel.
Mike Siegel's
He's here. If you want to get a lesson with the mouth himself. Frederick, Maryland, where he resides. Left it right in front of the hole, too. Yeah, Mike plays out of Hammerheads Billiards in Florida. That's in Holiday, Florida.
That's a nice place from what I understand.
Very nice place. They got 1,000 tables. It's huge.
Only 1,000?
Only 1,000. It is a big room.
Now, I think that was Dan Lavoie's place
Yeah,
at one
yeah,
point,
he's
right?
cool. Yep.
A lot of great places to play down in Florida.
Oh, I love Florida. Florida pool scene is strong. I mean, Florida is pool. It really is.
Back in the
I
80s,
stayed there a little
it was
bit.
strong.
Yeah.
They used to have the Sunshine Tour down there. That really started it. Steve Cook went down there, started playing around. Players could go up and play on the Baxter Tour throughout the South. And then, a long story short, the Seminole Tour came along, a number of years ago, 7 years ago, 6 years ago. And players are starting to migrate there.
You know,
there's great. It's easy to get in action.
Yes.
And stay sharp with some great players.
What's funny is great players migrate totally north. They tend to be totally north or totally south. That's because of the extremeness in the weather. In Florida, it's so hot, you're going to be inside an air-conditioned place. And in the north, it's so cold, you want to be inside a heated place. So it's perfect setup for a pool.
Right.
And then everything in between, it's just right where you can be outside playing golf,
Right.
all year round.
Well, you get places like the Carolinas where they're putting out something in the water there that makes great pool players too now.
Absolutely. Yep.
But it's it's not uncommon to get a lot of players. Like Mizrak moved down West Palm Beach. He was down there.
Yep. And now you got Tony Crosby, Corey Deuel, Mike Davis
Torsten
here.
Homan.
Yep. Unfortunate. All right, our assistant Sean Morrow is going to help us here. Shane, sorry.
Well,
Messed that up.
yeah. He used to be our production assistant, folks, but I don't know why he quit. Well,
It's hard to keep track of everybody's names. I'm learning so many new people every week, man.
You're a
These regional
superstar,
tours.
man. Anybody that's got their own bobblehead doll and unauthorized
No.
autobiography, I mean, come on.
I'm the clown, the cartoon guy.
You keep treating our production assistants like that, they'll be spitting in your coffee. Don't worry.
Yay. We're going to get the things updated for you guys. It's hard. We're just to let you know, we're back here in this commentary booth, and it's difficult to get people to run back and forth in communication with the tournament desk, which is way at the other side of the room. So apologize for the update and inconvenience.
And then just like that, Mike Davis makes it 5-5.
These guys are firing back at each other, that's for sure.
Well, this is getting interesting because right now, Mike Davis hasn't shown us anything. Neither has Ryan McCreesh. I'm waiting to see who's going to step up first. I doubt that this is going to be the caliber of play that we're going to experience the rest of the set. I just see that both players are playing better now than what they were at the beginning of the set. I think somebody's going to kind of put a little package down here.
Yeah, they're getting the roll of the table, how everything's playing.
Well, that break let everybody settle in. I don't know, though. Let's see what happens.
Well, if anybody's going to know, you're going to know, JR.
No, I'm not.
Watch Mike Davis's thunderous break from this angle here. Nice looking shot there. Take a look at the layout. 23.45 miles per hour. They're commenting on run out double J. Mike has such a weird stroke.
Yeah, he looks like he's sawing a log, but it's that final stroke that goes through, and
It's smooth as can be, isn't it?
smooth and straight.
Wow.
Smooth and straight.
That's an aiming point. Maybe that he's aiming up at his point.
Well, I think he has that because his shoulder doesn't really move. If his shoulder moved, you'd probably see that nice fluid level looking stroke. But once it gets down to the apex of where he's hitting the cue ball, from that point on, it's straight and very, very level. I mean, he's totally in control of his stroke, and that's the nice thing.
Shane Morrow hooking us up. Thank you, my friend. All right, winners, Kevin Bailey, amazing player. Ryan McCreesh, Mike Davis. Loser side, Brett Stottlemyre, Alan Duty, Russell Baker, Josh Brothers, Mike Wong, Bucky, Andy Lincoln, Dominic Mill, and Scott Tomlinson. I think Josh Brothers and Mike Wong are playing right now, and Andy Lincoln and Dominic Mill are playing right now. All right, Shane Morrow, thank you very much. Great up-and-coming shooter from, you're from Ohio, aren't you? Okay, Erie, PA. We'll be going to be getting him in the commentary booth next. Hear what he has to say.
Play at Paul Schofield's place up there? Figured as much.
Yeah, one of the guys I've been following on the tours we've been doing over here.
Yeah, really nice pool room. Crown Billiards, right? Gold Crown, sorry. Yeah. Paul was quite a good player in his day.
That's what I heard. He still plays pretty straight.
Wow. Wow.
Cheese time.
I don't say wow too often, but
Yep.
I went for it. Now,
I see a cheesy shot coming up here.
I think, well, Alvin, I'll let you make your prediction here. This will be missed, but I don't think it's going to be missed today.
Blink. Mike Dig Davis.
Couple of combinations, and Mike Davis is back in the lead at 6-5. A commanding 6-5 lead.
Commanding. Yep. These guys are going at it now.
Well, Mike hasn't really impressed me very much with the break just yet. And, normally Mike has a pretty darn good break. And he's in control. And I think he's just having a little difficulty with the timing, and I don't know whether it's the way he's playing nowadays because he's done a lot of weightlifting and that type of thing, or whether it's just this match. I mean, guys are allowed to not play their best during a match. That human element still comes into play.
Well, how late were we up? Everybody up last night? 3:30 in the morning. It's it's still early in the pool. I call it the pool players' morning. It's now about 11 a.m. It's actually in reality going on 4 p.m. But
we're getting a little inspection on the rack now. Ryan kind of wanted to challenge the last one, but he pulled himself back from it. But he's getting up and put a little gamesmanship into it. Now that he's down 6-5, he's going to kind of get in there and say, "Wait a minute,
what are you doing to the rack here?"
Yeah, it's the only way you can get into the game at this point. What's that?
Just tell him to sit down. Rack your own. That's why we're playing.
Yep.
So sit down.
And that's where.
That ends the game's
Yeah.
He's doodadding. He's doodadding the one. They're having a problem getting the one to freeze. There he goes. What do you think about him touching the one ball after the rack's off?
It's fine.
Doesn't bother you?
Doesn't bother me. The game doesn't start until the cue ball crosses the line. Read the rules. You can touch all the balls with your hands if you want. If they're froze and you break them up, that game started officially and it's legal.
Well, there you heard it.
Read the rules, folks. I used to have a friend that could freeze the balls up, rack them all with his hands every time.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow. That is incredible.
He would line them against the bottom rail.
Beautiful break. 22.96 miles per hour. See if he's going to
Put
get
the one on the
fortunate.
corner. He'd put the one up on the head spot, let it set, take the 7 balls and put them right up or with his hands and then move the back ball in. Froze every time.
Wow.
And he'd do it in about 3 seconds. And it was amazing. For most players that would see it done, they would freak out and go, oh. But they'd look at it and they'd go, well, everything's froze. Okay.
Talking about the ones on the felt. They're awesome.
Yeah, those rely on the fact that the divots are strategically placed so that, imagine a pothole and the ball's in the pothole, and the potholes are closer than what the width of the ball is. So now they have to rock back into the bottom of the pothole, but they run into each ball first.
It's awesome.
It's nice. That whole mentality started coming around. There was a player down this way named David Smith, and he had a rack that looked like a mouse pad. And you went in, you pounded the balls in, and you took the mouse pad away, and you could put the balls all in the right place.
Nice.
And you never needed a rack. He kind of went away, and these rack things started happening.
I tried it out. It works great. I mean, they split perfectly. Everything you want to happen happens.
I think Grace Nakamura has the rack tight.
I believe it's rack tight, yeah. Definitely a great thing to use.
Well,
And she's always working so hard for pool. It's good we can give her a little plug like that, you know.
yeah, she's a great lady.
Absolutely.
Well, I think Ryan's going to try and take the easy way
Sure
out here
is.
because at
Again,
5'6", if you're
pick
going to
and
shoot a
lint.
combo, you might as well win the game with the combo, especially if you can get perfect position on it.
And
That's what he's looking at.
mental move too, you know.
Hey, I can shoot combinations too.
Yeah.
That
Absolutely.
Type of,
Yep, that's what it's all about, man.
now, he chose to shoot down in the corner because he knew he could stop, and he was darn near perfect. He could have shot that ball in 5 different pockets to have final cue ball placement.
Look at how he lined himself up too.
Oh, yeah. Darn near perfect. That was by design.
Absolutely.
Smart player.
Sure. He told me he has a full-time job, so that can also hinder his road playing abilities.
Oh, yeah, that puts the damper on it.
It sure does.
Well, I think what he's supposed to do here with the lane that he has, he's supposed to follow this cue ball, hit a little bit firmer, take that cue ball down on the 8. Just tie it up with the 8 somehow, and that might get into the game if you ever get a miss.
See how
Maybe
still
1%, but that 1% might come up now.
he was real still on that, so I expect him, yep.
Good shot. And
There it is.
tying it up at 6 games apiece.
And that could be huge right there. It really could with winter breaks. the edge that Ryan's gonna have coming in, and hey, I just snapped the cheese, or I just made the cheese, I'm ready, I can do my break, perfect. Break, run out. Okay, I'm on a roll again. Break, run out. It's all in the break, like you were talking about earlier with Alan here. Duker 509 wants to know how things are going for you nowadays, JR.
Is that Duke Bayman?
Duker.
Might be Duke Bayman. Well, if it is Duke, things are going great. How are they going for you is the question. I haven't seen you in a while.
Autofocus.
Shane just
10
asked us
ball.
a good question. We're going to be we're the official streamers and the official magazine for the Valley Forge Super Billiards Expo, so we'll be streaming live the Players Championship. So for the most part, you'll be able to get our streams up until then, but you'll be able to tune in Thursday around noon, 11 for the first round. You'll be catching Alvin. Some of the gang will all be making sure that event comes to you live. Yeah. Now, Ryan's put some time into this rack, and I don't blame him. Basically, we have a race to 3 on our hands. Is that right?
I think it's a race to 3 from here.
Right.
Shane Morrow's going to join us in the booth here, so appreciate his help. JR's going to do the radar. One ball will go up table. Well, he put it in the side this time. Yeah, he's not happy. 22.03 miles per hour.
Took the cue ball down to the end of the rail there and made the 1. Most of the breaks that you're going to see Ryan do, that's going to be a good break because the 1's still going to be on the table. But he happened to make the 1 this time.
Yeah, he's trying to push the 1 ball to the head rail.
Yeah.
Bring the cue ball up there with it.
And he's going to push out, give Mike a choice of a 9-foot shot. Now, this is a kick safety, if I've really got to say, and I think we're going to watch another break here. So let's get ready to take a break because Mike, I think, wants to go and clear his head and get ready to win this match from here. But you can see what I mean. I think he's really should consider kicking at this ball because he can only see a portion of the ball. And at the same time, he should be able to kick this ball over towards where the shafts are. There's an alley there that goes down to the bottom rail. And the 5 and the 4 and the 9 are on the right-hand side. He'd be shooting in between them. He should be able to pull this off. And I think he wants to just get ready to lay this down.
Yeah. Well, he could thin it and leave the cue ball back up on the head rail. Put him underneath the 6 and the 8 too, but
Sure.
he's probably going to kick at it.
You know, I've seen some guys try and use that 3 ball where they'll hit as much of the deuce as they can and try and bank it in behind the 6 and into the 7, right?
And leave him
Kind of get
underneath
it in
the 3
between
ball.
there so there's no real good kicks one rail.
Yeah.
And let the cue ball stop the cue. The
Yep.
3 ball stop the cue.
He's got a lot of options. Not all of them are good, though.
Yeah.
At 6-6 in a race to 3.
Yeah, I mean, at this point here, you got to feel what you think you're going to, can you do it? Can your opponent do it?
Right.
All this is still grand that we know what he should be doing, but if you don't think that you can pull it off 80, 90%, of the time, maybe you should consider passing it at this point and let him make the great shot.
Right. Or let him make the mistake, one of the two.
Right. Right. I always used to say positive words. I'd never consider a pull shot a mistake. Something to think about.
Good thinking.
You never say what it's going to what you think it's going to be by accident because you'll keep calling it that while you're trying to play it.
Right.
Right?
You're
It's
right.
like saying don't miss. Just a
Right.
point.
If you say don't miss, you're definitely going to miss. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
Don't scratch. Well, you're going to scratch.
Yeah.
And, only consider the great shots. These hard shots are great shots waiting to happen. It's just whether you're going to pull the great shot off. How do you feel about it? And
Giant comes back into the room.
Wonder where little Sprout is. All right, we're back, folks. Well, and like I said, I very well think that this could be some little gamesmanship on Mike's side. He could turn around and say, hey, it's your shot in about a minute here to Ryan.
Right, after he looks at it.
But that's where we're at. So, we're just going to kind of keep it rolling here. Are they saying?
What? Well, he played it safe, kicked it under up to the side rail, got him behind the 5 and the 9. Good shot.
He did play the kick shot there. Huh?
I didn't see if he played the kick. I was looking at the screen and it
Yeah.
almost had to play this kick shot from there, though.
We're just dealing with some technical difficulties, folks. That's why we missed that shot. But our producer and engineer, Alvin, is doing his wizardry here, so bear with us. Sure, everything's going to be fine. Alvin is giving us the thumbs up. We just might have to give you the score verbally from this point, folks, so bear with us. We do know it's 6-6.
It is still 6-6. And I can't see what kind of a shot he has from here, but it looks like he's might have a scratch shot into the side pocket.
Computer is mad.
Start streaming over there.
Yeah, Ryan kicked at that ball and left him a kind of a tough shot on the side pocket. He'll probably end up having to play some kind of safety here. Maybe try and put the cue ball underneath the 6 and the 8. Computers, man. It's live.
Yeah, we're good.
Oh, you elected to play the bank.
Played the bank,
And he
got a little
pocketed
lucky,
a ball.
and they took their places. Well, the 6 is really the only ball that concerns me in this point here.
Yeah.
It's a little bit funky, but I think that he can get down where the 3-ball area is right now. Well, where the 3-ball was, let's put it to you that way.
Touchy shot. He's got to be glad he's still shooting, that's all.
Yeah. Yeah. 7-6 and you breaking is a lot better than 7-6 and the other guy breaking.
It could be 9-6 from the chair. Oh, he's playing the
He
combo.
may be playing this combo. It
Oh,
looks
he
like
definitely
now,
is.
folks.
That was a
doesn't
nice
like
shot.
that. He hates that 6.
I don't blame him.
How many games are going to be decided with combos here on the way out the door? I mean, we've already seen 3 or 4. Combo Fest 2011. And there we go.
Questions?
And taking the commanding 7-6 lead is Mike Davis. Now, I'm going to make a prediction. I think Ryan is going to be all over this rack again.
You think?
Yeah, I think he's going to come up and give it a pretty good inspection.
Yeah.
He's sitting there shaking his head, talking to himself, switching his cues. He's shaking his head absolutely right this second. He is not happy. So
He's working it out. I think
work it out, walk it out, whatever you got to do, man, because Mike Davis is coming for you.
Dan Madden's out of the tournament, whoever asked that question.
Yeah, we've a couple of guys from the chat were wanting to know if Dan was in the tournament or not, but he exited.
Yeah, he just got knocked out one round
Yeah,
last
earlier.
match. Yep, earlier. Yep.
And mean early. I'm saying earlier.
The
Not
man,
quite as early as I did, but
the man with the horizontally striped shirts. He loves those horizontal striped shirts. It's like Earl.
I think he only has one. He just wears the same one.
No, he wore his Freddy Krueger one at Icebreakers last week. He looked like
did
Freddy
he?
Krueger.
I want somebody to start wearing a Charlie Brown shirt while they play. That
For
would
sure.
be awesome. Yellow with big black zippy stripes, you know.
Josh is still in.
Playing right now, actually, I think.
Actually, that match looks like it's over. I'm not sure who won.
He hit that one a little bit better.
26.04 miles per hour on the iPhone app, Break Speed app.
That's a nice app. I like that.
Who made that? Who makes that app? What's the guy's name?
Craig Nettles.
Mm-hmm.
What's the fastest break you've seen here this weekend?
We had a couple of 29s earlier when we were gunning them earlier yesterday.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, this is
Seen
turning
worse.
into a long match. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
It's turned into a long match. They're commenting on the chat that he went to the store. John Gary went to the store and came back home, and they're still playing. Well, they both want to win bad.
They've both taken their break. They're both trying to use
Twice.
Timing. They're not shooting slow per se. It's just the situations have come up where it's caused the players to think a lot and really consider the rack.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
It's been a chess match.
Because I can guarantee you he's going to shoot this in the next 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't shoot slow.
Yeah, but nobody's shooting slow.
Wow.
Mike might be a little bit slower than Ryan, but it's the big question is why are the leaves so bad? Good shot.
Score's 7-6. Mike, by the way.
He's a little, he's a little angle here. He has a little angle, and he should be able to swing over to the other side and get perfect on this 8 and not have to shoot the combo.
Yeah, we can't change the score right now. The computer is in a frozen mode, so we're going to go ahead and finish out this match. But we'll keep you updated on the score.
He hit a little bit light. He knew it as soon as he touched it.
He's all right. Just has to make a shot.
The 9's going to be a funky little ball here because I think he's going to,
Look at
He
this.
missed the ball, scratched.
Man, he looks like he wants to break his cue in half. Oh, he just smacked himself in the face really hard. Did
Yep.
you guys hear that?
He slapped himself in the face
Wow.
after he missed.
Wow.
Negative reinforcement.
I'm talking about smacked himself in the face.
Well,
They don't even do that in elementary anymore.
Like you smack your kid on when he...
Well, I still think the worst negative reinforcement that I've ever seen was Fabio Petroni when he was playing Gabe Owen and he just started beating his head off the edge of the table.
Oh, yeah.
That was at
Valley Forge.
Valley Forge last year, 2 years ago. Was it 3
years
years ago now?
I thought he did a full face plant right into the ground, too, after that. Like, arms out, like, just smashed his face right into the ground.
He
may
was
have.
bleeding when he was done.
And he tried to say that he was still ready to play.
He was still trying to wake up. Oh, man.
Yeah, he smashed his face into the table, the rail.
Yeah, we interviewed Gabe after that. We had him on our show, and Gabe says he couldn't believe what was going on, and then Fabio wanted to keep playing. That's when we nicknamed him the Earl of Italy.
The Earl of Italy.
Nice.
Coming with a
All
nice
right,
little
that-
speed there, 26.53 miles per hour. And I think they've taken their places. If you're Ryan,
I don't think
you're
Ryan gets
hoping
back
that
out of the
lightning
chair.
strikes so you can get back to the table at least.
Oh, this is good here. D.H. Wright says he saw a guy break his cue over his own head once.
Well, the one that I've heard about and never have really verified it is Buddy Hall told me about a guy and I think the guy's name was Barefoot, and he used to run across his pool room and slam his head into his jukebox. And he
Wow.
said he would do it full speed. It wasn't a joke. His guy would run as fast as he could and put his head down and run into his own jukebox.
Wow.
Wow.
It's a little tough for me.
Problems.
Did they threw Fabio out of that tournament after that, didn't they?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I thought they did.
I'm pretty sure. Mike's got a little bit on the 50-yard line here. He would love to be able to cut this. He's just trying to make sure that he's not shooting into a scratch.
He should be able to hold that ball out of the corner.
I think so.
Just try and play shape is what he's worried about, I think. Where the
Yeah.
3 ball's going to go after he makes it.
Well, he's hoping that it doesn't rest on the rail.
Or yeah, he doesn't want it to hang on the titty.
Do tell, run out, Double J, your stories. I know a guy that used to talk to his cue, and then I don't know him personally, and then he'd say, "That's a bad shot. It's a bad cue," and break it right in half.
Yep. Kind
Go
of what
get
he wanted
another
to
one.
happen.
Argue
Didn't want
with
to happen.
himself in the corner.
Yeah, he talked to his
Why-
cue for sure.
Yeah,
I
he
knew a
left
guy who had everything purple,
Nice.
shot all 4 balls, brought a rack of 4 balls into the pool room, and would shoot them with a purple cue, purple glasses, everything purple, and even had a purple $70,000 Corvette.
Wow. Sounds like a strange dude.
No, he is fine.
Cool guy. Just totally normal, huh?
Absolutely normal.
Why do you ask?
Wow.
Okay. Well,
Overcuts
once it
it.
did like we were saying, where it went to the rail, he was toast.
Yep.
He had to
Wow.
come with a great shot, and he's got a pretty good leave here.
Yeah, I think he got away with it.
Ryan at least is getting back to the table.
He's mad, but he's back at the table.
Yeah, well, that's when the emotional side can take over and really ruin your game.
Well, this is what we were talking about, is how you get up and you say that I've got this bad shot and this is, impossible. And you've got to really be positive and say, I can't believe he let me do this, and I'm going to win the set from here. He
Yeah.
missed and left me a bad shot, and I played this safety and ran the set out then.
Yep.
And if you think that way, you can start to have a chance at that happening.
Yeah, if you're
Doesn't
thinking
have
it's
to
all
happen.
bad, it's going to be all bad.
Well, you predict the loss and you will lose.
That's right.
Predict the win and you've got a chance to win. As they say, there's no accidental champions.
That's for sure.
Run
I
out
remember
double.
watching a guy go outside and break his cue over a picnic table and it come up and hit him in the face. That was pretty funny.
Run out Double J says he knows a guy that threw a pool cue across the room and it's stuck in the drywall.
When I was younger, a guy that I'm not going to mention his name, great player, threw his cue up on top of the pool room. The roof, went outside and hurled it as fast as he could up in the room, and it lodged up on top of the pool room. And he was so mad and so embarrassed that he didn't tell anybody. So I got the ladder out the next day and drug it down. And just as a joke, when he came into the pool room, I put a for sale sign on it. Oh boy, fireworks!
That's funny.
We were all in on it. We were all laughing. We gave him his cue back.
That's
I
awesome.
charged him $20 in a fish sandwich.
What do you think he does here? Is he cut this 3 ball in the corner?
Well,
Banks
I
it
think
into
he's
the 9
going right
ball
at
for
the
the
9
nine.
Wow. That was close, man.
this is, Combo
He
Fest
can't believe it.
2011.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
Got to give it for what it's worth.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
I didn't know these guys were in the shipping business.
Hamron and Cameron said he saw a guy beat his head on the brick wall outside the pool room. Who won, the guy or the wall?
He kicked it in. Oh. He's coming to grips that he might not be winning this set.
Well, if he needs to cool down. He's just too tense, and I guess it's easier said than done.
He's going to
Yeah.
be cool here in a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
he's-
got that right, Shane.
He's going to be at the bar cooling off.
Yep, pulling up a seat. This is still winner side, though, so Both these guys got a barrel left.
Wow, he didn't get there where he wanted to on that shot. This table must not be playing like they think it's supposed to.
I played a guy one time, and they had all the heat off in this game room, and we matched up, and we went over to this game room and played, and it was about 5 below zero outside. So
Wow.
we went in, and we had to. I was literally playing with gloves on because the slate was so cold, and
Nice.
the guy at the end of the day, I ended up beating him. Got so angry, he hit the ball as hard as he could into the rail. The ball climbed up over the rail, and I've still never seen anything like this happen, but it had to be because of it was so cold. The rails weren't really bouncing quite right. So I knew this, and I was taking it. The ball hit the rail and kept going up over the rail and went into a pinball machine and exploded this pinball machine.
That's awesome.
So my buddy and I moosed pretty quick after that.
That's awesome. Smash.
The guy's name was Moose. We were out of there.
Yeah. See you later.
I might not even play a guy named Moose.
No doubt.
There's got to be a reason he's called Moose.
Yeah, he was like bigger than Mike Davis, but he wasn't the best player, wasn't the worst player. He's just good enough to get himself into a lot of trouble.
Perfect action.
Perfect action. That's why you play a guy named Moose.
Yeah, that's right. And hope you're faster than he is.
I didn't have to be faster than him. I just had to be faster than my backer.
That's true.
Just kidding. Not really.
Well,
Yeah, that'll do.
I want to
Yeah,
thank
well-
everybody out there.
Okay.
And want to thank Shane Morrow and J.R. Calvert for commentating with me. This has been the Inside Pool production. Brian McCreesh and Mike Davis, and we'll be back with another match soon. So visit InsidePoolMag.com.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Don't forget, Flick, I know where you live.